Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on stress positions. It's billed as a comedy movie. I think it takes place during the pandemic, but it's kind of hard to tell. And the entire cast is very gay. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So the lead guy is this guy. He is watching his husband's, because he's gay, and he's got his husband's brownstone. He's watching it, but also he's taking care of his husband's nephew, who's the guy here on the left. Now, he is a male model, and he's broken his leg, and he's staying with him. But because he's a male model, all his horny gay friends come over and want to get with him. And that seems to be the premise of the movie. So imagine a movie in which, I don't know, these characters were straight, and you had to watch your niece, your hot young niece, and a bunch of horny guys showed up to get with her. Like, it'd be kind of an uncomfortable movie, right? And then it's billed as a comedy, but it doesn't look very funny. It looks like there's a few pratfalls. I think part of it, again, it all comes back to reality. The reality that you live in. And I guess maybe for some people this is their reality. But, you know, I just don't see it as reality. It's a film by Theta Hamill. Also, the trailer doesn't do a really good job at conveying what the story is. It just puts in a lot of wacky moments that are supposed to be, you know, very sort of stressful and crazy, but it doesn't seem very stressful and crazy. It just seems like an excuse to have a ton of gay characters interact and be neurotic and weird. So, I don't know. I don't see it as being very good. This guy is just freaking out because he wants his place so quarantined that he sprays disinfectant on the money he's given. Like, I don't know. I think it's like a Grubhub guy. He's wearing a gas mask, and it doesn't look like he's spraying anything. Yeah, I guess it's Grubhub. It doesn't look like he's spraying anything antiseptic or full of alcohol. It just looks like he's spraying air freshener on the money. And why can't he keep his horny friends out of his house? Like, why do they keep showing up? Doesn't make any sense. So, here's the write-up. Terry Goon, I had to read it to understand what the hell was going on. Terry Goon is keeping a strict quarantine in his ex-husband's Brooklyn brownstone while caring for his nephew, a 19-year-old model from Morocco named Balou, bedridden in a full leg cast after an electric scooter accident. Unfortunately for Terry, everyone in his life wants to meet the model. Doesn't seem like everybody. It seems like this trans dude wants to meet him. And I assume get with him? I don't know. Seems like they're doing some kind of romance. And then there's a female character in it, but she didn't even have a line. It's just this sort of frantic energy. It's not enough just that frantic energy for a comedy. That helps. I mean, the frantic energy can help. But if it's not directed in any particular direction, the guy on the right's doing some pratfalls. He seems to be trying to make it funny, but it seems to be funny like theater major funny. Like, not really funny. Like, funny that theater majors would go, oh, that's outrageous. So I don't really see this movie landing with a very big audience. I guess if you're a gay and you live in the city and you're kind of encountered wacky characters like this, maybe this would land for you, but it just seems to be touted, well, it's full of gay people, therefore it's awesome. It's in theaters April 19th. Directed and written by Theta Hamill, John Early, Quahir Harhash, and Theta Hamill is in it. I don't know what Theta is. Is that a boy or a girl? I think it's a girl. Don't know who that is. Part of queer cinema's new vanguard. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Like, is this supposed to be funny? See, the problem with a movie like this, in my view, is like, where's the normal line, right? So, if you do a scene with, I don't know, let's say a doctor. Like, a doctor's supposed to act in a certain way, right? So when Ricky Gervais does the doctor in Louis C.K.'s Louis show, and he's just an a-hole to Louis, it's really funny because doctors are supposed to help people, right? You know what the behavior is supposed to be from a doctor. When you have a trans character, what is their behavior supposed to be? You kind of don't know. Could be anything. So is it wacky that they're going, whoa, whoa? I don't know. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe it's part of their deal. I honestly don't know. You know, you gotta have some kind of commonality for comedy to work, or it's going to appeal, to so few people. You can't push comedy on people. It's either funny to them or it's not. That's it. So, this isn't, you've already cut out, I don't know, like 80% of your audience. So, it's a very tiny window here for people to see this and go, oh, that's cool. That's funny. It's the constant focus, though, I think, on the sexuality that kills something like this. Like, if you had an organic story in which, I don't know, some of these elements were in it, it probably would work. But the story just feels like an excuse to showcase, I don't know, gay talent. And, again, like, where's the normal? There is kind of no level of normal here. Even for the gay community, like, what's normal? Is it normal for a bunch of people to show up at a guy's house? He's trying to keep it quarantine, and then, like, all his horny friends are showing up to get with this model. Like, is that normal? Does that seem normal to you? It seems a little, I don't know. Guy's kind of young. The other characters are a little older. It seems a little pervy. Seems like if you turned them into straight characters, the whole thing would kind of feel like, yeah, why don't you guys leave this girl alone? Like, why don't you leave this model alone? Is it okay that he's gay? Is that what makes it okay? There's a dynamic there that most people aren't going to tune into. And it's going to just make them go, I don't know why this is funny. I don't know why it's not funny. I don't know why it is funny. So you're left with a very sliver of an audience that may or may not know this movie even exists and probably goes right to streaming, in my view. So first act, the guy's watching the flat, and his husband's nephew comes over. He's got to watch him. Somehow word leaks out his hot husband's nephew is there, and all his pervy friends start showing up in the second act. Third act, I don't know. Later in the trailer, he's wearing a wig. Do they transition him? Doesn't seem very funny. So again, You can't. Part of the reason the left can't meme and generally suck at comedy is because things have gotten so extreme on the left. There is no limits. If there's no limits, then what's funny? Nothing's funny. Because anything can be normal. So if you can't have something, oh, that's crazy. No, it's not crazy. Nothing's crazy. Anything's possible. Everything's normal. Then there's no comedy. So, yeah. That's a real problem, I think, for this movie. Will I see it? Nah. Doesn't look funny. The only thing you need in a comedy movie in the trailer is to showcase that it's funny. So, I don't know. If you laughed at this, leave me a comment and tell me why you laughed. It's in theaters April 19th. It's called Stress Positions for Reasons. I guess. It's because it's stressful? Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. If you can find a more bass take, I say take it. Tomorrow, we'll be doing a live stream where we do it live on Easter, the holiest of holies days, but we'll be talking about movies instead. So I hope to see you there. Be full of chocolate, and we'll see you